Yeah, the customer's probably not going to be too terribly happy. This is how the tape came out of the machine. Let's see if we can maybe take some of it back up carefully. Well, there's probably going to be a couple dropouts in that area right there. Well, it's no worse for wear. This is a Nakamichi BX-300 discrete head cassette deck. Take a look at this thing. I do have the top off of it, and as you can tell, it did eat a tape. Bad Nakamichi. Bad Nakamichi. It's not a dragon by any means, but Nakamichis are very nice tape decks. I do have one myself. Not the BX300 I have. I think it is a CR50. It's a fairly nice bottom of the barrel tape deck. It plays tapes. That's what I want it to do. Oh, check that out. Direct drive servo. Very nice. And auto reverse. Got a second belt down there too. A second flywheel. Up here it's got a little worm gear motor to engage and disengage the mechanism. Let's see if we can figure out why this thing ate the Ringo Starr tape. The world is nearing the end. Okay, let's go ahead and apply power to this thing and see what it does. And the flywheels do turn. That's a very good sign. That means something's happening. Open the door. I'm going to go ahead and pop the customer's tape back into it here and see what it wants to do. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play. And it shows that it actually is playing. So we'll hit stop. There, it stopped. Let's see if we can rewind. Yes, we can. Fast forward. Maybe just a bad tape. Uh-oh, I hit stop and it took a long time to stop. Let's try to eject it, and I bet there's going to be tape. Well, it's not hanging out of it. But if you look in the center, you can see it did spill some tape. So that's where I'm going to look first. I'm suspecting this motor right here may not be either turning or engaging the gear correctly. It's hard to tell. So yeah, it definitely did have slack in the tape. Okay, so I've got this zoomed in on the loading gear and the loading motor. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play right now. And it rotates into the play position. I'm going to go ahead and hit stop. Oh, and it came back perfect that time. Of course, why would it? Play. There it is. It's hanging up right there. It's trying. And if I give it some help, it goes back to stop. Oh, I hope this thing doesn't have a broken gear. That would be bad. Stop. Perfect. And it's hanging. Oh, there it came back. I wonder if it could be a dirty switch. A little sluggish that time. Yeah, I don't see it being a dirty switch. Interesting. There, it's hanging up right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a voltmeter out and put it on the loading motor. I want to see the voltage to the loading motor as it tries to load and as it tries to unload. One moment, please. Okay, voltmeter is connected, and I have it on the 60 volt DC range. So I'm going to hit play, and we'll see what we get. So I have it on min-max. So I saw 7.4 volts in the positive and 7.29 in the negative. So I'm curious, when this thing faults, what is the voltage? I'm just going to run it back and forth a few times and we'll see what happens. So that was a negative loading and the positive unloading. And of course now it's not going to do it. Well, I guess I'll let this thing play for several hours and see if I can get it to act up again and hopefully have the voltmeter available. I'm just going to go ahead and leave the voltmeter connected and just put it in my test room and just connect an amplifier to it and just let it run and run and run, and hopefully it acts up. Okay, well, I've had it playing for a few minutes. Let's go ahead and hit the stop and see if it binds at all. And of course it works absolutely perfectly. Okay, well, we'll come back to this hopefully when it acts up. Okay, well, I've been playing this thing for about the last 3 hours on and off, and I have not been able to get it to act up whatsoever. It's working perfectly. It sounds great. I don't really know what is going on with this thing, so I did go ahead and clean the capstan shafts. There's 2 of them. The pinch rollers, because it's a dual drive deck with 3 heads. Went ahead and cleaned everything. Cleaned the full erase head, the record head, the playback head. This thing works perfectly. I know it was getting stuck. I cannot explain why. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and basically give it back to my customer with just a half-hour diagnostic charge and nothing else, because it's working absolutely perfectly. I've had the voltmeter set up here, so we got 7.45 positive and negative 7.39. That's very close to what I would expect it to be. Take it out of here, we'll hit play, and I saw a negative voltage of 7.36. We'll go to positive and we'll stop it. What? That's average, sorry. 7.40. So every time we start it and stop it, it may increment the voltage very slightly because this motor is only on for a very brief period each time. So I'm wondering if I can stall it. So let's put this back to normal and I'll stall it. Oh, it's got a lot of torque. I can't stall it. I mean, I can, but it's got a lot of torque. So that stalled 6.5 volts. And it timed out before it reached its end. But it's working perfect. So, yeah, I'm just going to have to get back to the customer and let him play with it and see if he can figure out a rhyme or a reason as to why this thing ate the tape. Anyhow, that's going to be it. The Nakamichi BX-300, very, very nice 3-head dual capstan tape deck. Everyone, thanks for watching. I really appreciate the views. Go ahead and leave me a comment, a question, a concern down below, good or bad. I try to respond when I have time. And while you're down there, if you could, please hit that subscribe button and like this video. It does help my channel grow, plus it helps YouTube recommend videos like this to other people that might be interested in the same types of videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye. And auto reverse, got a second belt down there to a second flywheel. I need to check the take-up torque and see if there's adequate take-up torque. Okay, so I've got it zoomed in on the loading motor and the loading gear, and we'll see what we see. So I'm curious, when this thing faults, let's get this meter positioned a little bit better.